Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you love captivating stories about men transforming into women in unique and fascinating ways, then be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's jump right into today's tale.
Chapter 9. Seduction and Strategy. The moon hung high in the sky, casting a pale silver glow over the compound Naruto had been watching for hours. From his perch on a nearby rooftop, he could see the flicker of torches illuminating the entrance to the restricted area. 4 guards stood at their posts, their stances relaxed but their eyes sharp. These weren't your run-of-the-mill shinobi. They were elite. The kind who wouldn't fall for a simple distraction or genjutsu. The kind you didn't want to cross unless you were absolutely sure of your plan. Unfortunately for Naruto, the plan he had in mind was the wildest thing he wanted to do. "This is all your fault, pervy sage," Naruto muttered under his breath, his cheeks burning as he recalled the training sessions that had led to this moment. "All right, Naruto," Jiraiya had said, leaning back against a tree with his trademark grin. "If you're going to pull off this infiltration mission, you'll need to do more than just look the part. You've got to act the part too." Naruto, still struggling with the long blonde hair that kept falling into his face, had frowned. "What do you mean, act the part? I've already got the transformation down. I look like a girl, don't I?" Jiraiya had sighed dramatically, shaking his head. "Looking like a girl isn't enough, kid. You're going undercover as a woman. That means understanding how to use your assets." "My what?" Naruto had asked, blinking in confusion. "Your charm, your allure, your ability to make men lose their focus with just a look." Jiraiya had gestured dramatically, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. "You've got to learn the art of seduction, Naruto. It's a Kunoichi's most powerful weapon." Naruto had crossed his arms, a deep frown settling on his face. "That sounds stupid. Why can't I just punch them and be done with it?" "Because," Jiraiya had said, smirking, "sometimes brute force isn't the answer. Sometimes you've got to outsmart your opponent. And trust me, men are easy to outsmart when they're distracted." The training that followed had been some of the most humiliating moments of Naruto's life. Jiraiya had made him practice everything from walking in heels to fluttering his eyelashes. He'd even had Naruto recite cheesy pickup lines while pouting his lips, all while the old pervert scribbled notes for his next novel. "You'll thank me for this one day," Jiraiya had said with a laugh, as Naruto stormed off after yet another mortifying session. "Yeah, thanks a lot, pervy sage," Naruto muttered under his breath, shaking his head as he watched the guards. This was it. His first real test. All the training, all the embarrassment, it all came down to this moment. Naruto took a deep breath, adjusting the neckline of his dress. He still wasn't entirely used to the way the fabric clung to his transformed body, emphasizing curves that hadn't existed a few months ago. The long slit up the side of the skirt felt scandalous. And the heels, don't even get him started on the heel. But, he had to admit, when he caught his reflection in a nearby puddle, he looked good. Too good even. It was almost unsettling. "Oh, all right," Naruto whispered to himself, clenching his fists. "You've got this. Just remember what pervy sage said. Flutter the eyelashes, pout the lips, and act like you own the place." With that, Naruto leapt down from the rooftop, landing gracefully on the path leading to the guards. Instantly, their heads turned, their eyes narrowing as they spotted him. Naruto could feel their gazes lingering, sizing him up, and he forced himself not to cringe. "Hey there, boys," Naruto said, putting on his best sultry voice as he sauntered toward them. His hips swayed with each step, the heels clicking against the stone path. "Mind if I join you?" The gods exchanged glances, their expressions shifting from suspicion to surprise, and then to something else entirely. One of them, a tall man with a scar across his cheek, stepped forward, his hand resting on the hilt of his sword. "This area's off limits," he said, his tone firm but his eyes betraying his curiosity. "Who are you?" Naruto pouted, tilting his head as he let out a soft laugh. "Oh, come on, don't be like that. I was just passing through and couldn't help but notice how handsome you all are. Thought I'd stop by and say hi." The scarred god blinked, clearly caught off guard by the compliment. Another guard, shorter but stockier, smirked. "You lost, miss? Or are you looking for trouble?" "Maybe a little of both," Naruto said, stepping closer. He placed a hand on the scarred god's arm, his fingers trailing lightly over the fabric of his uniform. "But I'm sure you strong, capable men can help me out, can't you?" Inside, Naruto was screaming. This was so much harder than Jiraiya had made it seem. Flirting wasn't just about saying the words, it was about the way he moved, the way he smiled, the way he looked at them. Every gesture, every glance, was calculated, and it was exhausting. The guards, however, were eating it up. Their suspicion melted away, replaced by smug grins and puffed-up chests. Naruto could practically see their egos inflating with each passing second. "You're not from around here, are you?" the scarred guard asked, his tone softening. Naruto leaned in, lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. "Let's just say I'm traveling. But I'd love to get to know you better. Maybe somewhere a little more private." The guards exchanged glances again, and Naruto could see the hesitation in their eyes. They weren't completely stupid. They knew better than to let a stranger waltz into a restricted area without a good reason. But Naruto had one last trick up his sleeve. He leaned closer to the scarred guard, his lips brushing against his ear as he whispered, "Come on. I promise it'll be worth your while." A few minutes later, Naruto found himself around the corner with the guards, away from the prying eyes of the main gate. He was laughing and joking with them, his hands occasionally brushing against their arms or shoulders, each touch sending shivers down their spines. It was all an act, of course, but Naruto couldn't deny there was a strange thrill to it. The power he held over them, the way they hung on his every word. It was intoxicating. Naruto giggled softly as she reached up, wrapping her arms around the neck of one guard, pulling him close. She felt his body tense at the sudden contact, but he didn't push her away. Instead, he stood frozen, eyes wide with surprise and a hint of fear. "Oh, you're so strong," Naruto purred, running her fingers through his hair. "I bet you could lift me up, couldn't you?" The guard nodded dumbly, still in shock from the unexpected intimacy. Naruto giggled again, before pushing him backwards against the wall, trapping him with her body. She leaned in close, their faces inches apart, as she whispered braithily, "You two have been so good to me. I think you deserve a little reward, don't you?" Before either guard could respond, Naruto was on her knees, tugging at his belt buckle with eager hands. The other guard looked around frantically, but saw no one else nearby before he let out a low groan, as he felt her hot mouth engulf him. "Oh," the guard moaned softly, eyes rolling back in pleasure. "You shouldn't be doing that." Naruto ignored his protests as she began to suck and lick with abandon, her tongue swirling around the head of his cock before taking it deeper into her throat. She could feel him throb against her tongue as he struggled not to come, right then and there. Fuck, the guard swore under his breath, hands gripping Naruto's hair tightly as she continued to suck him off, like a woman starved for dick. You're gonna make me finish too fast. Naruto simply hummed around his length, in response, causing him to let out another low moan of pleasure. The other guard watched with growing arousal as he watched Naruto deep-throat his partner, like it was the most natural thing in the world. He couldn't believe how brazen she was being right there, in broad daylight, where anyone could walk by and see them. Oh shit. The guard groaned loudly, hands tightening around her hair as he came hard down her throat. Naruto swallowed every drop before licking her lips clean with a satisfied sigh. That was delicious, she purred before turning to the other guard, who stood there with an erection tenting his pants. Your turn? Naruto asked innocently, batting her eyelashes at him. Anyway. As Naruto slipped through the gate and into the restricted area, he couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. He'd done it. He'd used everything Jiraiya had taught him, every embarrassing lesson, every awkward moment, and it had worked. Guess the old perv was right, Naruto muttered to himself, smirking as he made his way deeper into the compound. That wasn't so bad. But as he thought back to the way the guards had looked at him, the way they'd practically tripped over themselves to please him, the way it felt to allow them to have their way with him, Naruto felt a strange flutter in his chest. He'd never experienced anything like that before, being in control, being desired. And as much as he hated to admit it, he'd kind of enjoyed it. Maybe I'll have to try that again sometime, Naruto said with a laugh, shaking his head as he focused on the mission ahead. There was still work to be done, but one thing was certain. This wouldn't be the last time Naruto used his feminine charm to get the job done.